Hold on, read the question again. Business side of art, not the creating side of art. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with the answer. My work is my priority. So whatever I have to do, I get it done, and that is the priority. Hi, my name is Lindo Mahamba, and I'm a visual artist specializing in explorative art. This is 21 Questions with Cotton Talk Studios. The whole process is really satisfying, from being explorative with your work and, discovering other techniques as you go along. But obviously the end is the most satisfying, because then you've seen all your work come together. Yes, any chance I'd really get to collaborate with an artist, I'd love to. I have done some collaborations which have been great. So the process is that we bounce back and forth on the canvas. I do some work, you do some work. Obviously, this will be different with each artist, Each artist has their own way of working, but I would prefer that we bounce off the work, and then in the end, I think we all have elements of each other's work in one canvas. Obviously, works with a deadline would come first, but generally I wouldn't put a deadline on any of my work. My work will take how long it needs to take for it to be finished in my eyes, unless there's a deadline. Then I would prioritize that and choose what I do with my days wisely to get the work done. Technology is another thing, especially when it comes to AI now. I think it has its good sides and its bad sides. Obviously, technology can be used as a tool to improve and enhance your work. It can be helpful in your process, but it can also make you lazy in some way in doing some of the things for you when you should be doing them yourself. So in some ways it helps, in some ways it doesn't. So I try to choose wisely how and what I use it for. See, the thing about originality is that it's not a one-day thing. You can't find it in one day. Your originality will come from years of work, time spent into the process. That's where you'll find your originality, and then you can choose in what ways you incorporate, like, your commercial work. Like, a lot of people are doing portraits now, so you can do a portrait. What makes it original is how you do it and put your own little style into it. Creative block. What do? I look outside of my work. So I take a break from what I usually do, which is painting, and I would go read a book, explore other disciplines of art and see what can inspire me. Because you can't really choose what inspires you. It's like you almost see it and it calls out to you, and that becomes your inspiration. So during a creative block, I know to take it easy and not pressure myself, because then that will certify the block. I relax very hard, and look outside of my work. Okay, so sometimes inspiration isn't tied to the source. It can spark an idea instead of resembling exactly the source. So whatever that idea is that comes to mind will manifest itself into the emotions I want to portray in a painting, piece of art. I think every next art almost changes my perspective in a way. I think the next art is obviously better, but then it raises the baseline of what I can do and how I can do it. So every art is like, it assures me that I can go further and further, and then that becomes like the milestone. Each art is a milestone, basically. Yes, definitely my emotions do guide some of my work. If I'm trying to portray a certain emotion in it, I need to be able to correctly portray it in whether it be color or facial expression. Yeah. I think my background is one that I've worked on a lot more since I started doing art. I think I've managed to create something that's uniquely mine. So when I pick out the colors of my background, it's based on like the technical side of art, like what colors mean and what certain shapes mean. So that guides the type of emotion that my subject will have. The most effective way so far has been sharing my work on Instagram and sending out emails, sending out my catalog, and contacting people that can put my work out there. Yeah. I think this is the challenge that a lot of people, a lot of artists have struggled with. I think it's knowing what your work is worth. And a lot of times we really do downplay how much our work is worth. So I think we're very used to underpricing because we think we haven't been here for that long or we haven't worked for that long, so it deserves an underprice, which is somewhat true. But I think we do underprice. Undervalue. I wanted to say undervalue instead of underprice. Fortunately, I haven't had any copyright issues, but yeah, I wouldn't say it's an issue. I think a lot of challenges that artists face nowadays is that they get their references off of Pinterest or inspired by someone, and the first step in that is to contact the rightful owner of that reference and let them know that you're going to be using their work and if they would like any reimbursement, which is very important because they do deserve that. We shouldn't be using people's work without their permission. Okay, well, I really enjoyed that. It was a big milestone for me because it was my first exhibition. It was lovely meeting all the women and seeing how many women are actually in the art industry. They tend to hide themselves, and I would like women to come together actually and show their work more and represent and take up space, because that space is there. It's not just art, it's business, it's networking, it's marketing. There's a whole like team that needs to be happening, and a lot of artists tend to do it themselves. But in order to really get to where you want to go, I think recognizing that you need a team behind you is very important. I think you just need to educate yourself very well on your budget, your way of living, your expenses, your taxes. Just do the research and do what works for you in terms of budgeting. Fortunately for me, I have someone that knows a lot about finances and they help me out a lot with that. The thing about art critics is that, no, I'm not gonna badmouth art critics, sorry. Scratch that. So the role they play is, I think, maybe giving you an idea of what the market is looking for, and that maybe you can incorporate that into your work. I think they set a standard that you can uphold for yourself to get your work in the spaces that they are in. I'm trying to think of one. Oh, okay, well, recently, usually I'm a portraiture artist. Recently I tried to work on an abstract art, and I'm new at abstract. I know I can see good abstract art and be like, wow, that's really great. But me doing it myself didn't work out that well. So that was the most challenging one. I scratched it and I painted over it. But I will try again. That will not be the last of me. I think it inspired me to be faithful to it. I come from a place where the art industry isn't as big as it is in Joburg. So I think leaving that and knowing that this is really what I wanted to do, it lit a fire under me to make sure that I'm doing it, and I'm doing it to to the best of my ability. Yeah. It's hard to say because I really appreciate everything that I do in my work. Everything I do for the first time is like a milestone. So I can't really pick which ones are like the key ones. I mean, the exhibition is one. Working in the studio is one. Yeah, it's just every step is a milestone for me. Educate yourself. Do the research that needs to be done, and it's a lot of research. Do that and make sure that you know your story and where you're going, because like everything in life, business has its up and downs, and during those downs you need the plan to keep you afloat so that you know where you're going.